everybody. Hello, welcome back to Learning Curves. I'm Anastasia, and today I want to talk about feelings. Feelings are getting a bad rap right now. I'm hearing a lot of people say to take feelings out of it, and that feelings just muddy the waters and mess things up. I shared in my goals for 2021 video that my husband and I are taking the toddler course from Big Little Feelings. I super recommend it, and I hope this isn't unfair of me to share this piece. I think they share this on their Instagram account, but they talk about how feelings are not bad. It's the behavior where we get in trouble. From where I am in my therapy journey, I am not a therapist, I am a patient. I think all emotions are sort of learned protections. We have learned from being sad when to be sad. We've learned from being scared when to be scared. And those experiences are different for each of us. Not everyone is going to have the same reaction, the same emotional response to a circumstance. Here I'd like to clarify the difference between feeling an emotion and getting dysregulated. When you're going off on someone, you are dysregulated. Essentially, when you lose your cool, you are dysregulated. You can be angry and not dysregulated. A lot of the people who I hear say don't get emotional are often very angry. Anger is an emotion. Go with me on this. So just like emotions are a natural experience of the human existence, the digestive system is an important part of having a body, right? Of being a somebody. You eat because you have to, and then there's waste. And there are people who like to pretend that waste doesn't happen, especially for women. I have a woman close to me who likes to joke about women not pooping, and this woman is a healthcare professional. And, it's the whole guys don't have feelings. Well, they do. And, when you hold them in, when you pretend like you don't have them and you hold it in, you hold it in, you hold it in, eventually you have an accident. And I've seen a lot of people hold their feelings in, wanting to pretend like they don't have feelings, and eventually I like to say they emotionally pee their pants. They have an emotional accident. And a lot of times that's an angry outburst. Sometimes it is crying, but a lot of times those people will be angry about crying. And I think a lot of those people don't understand why they're getting dysregulated, why they're having these big experiences, and they want to blame. I've just been seeing it around a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people struggling, a lot of people who haven't been giving themselves opportunities to express their emotions, to have that release, to empty their emotional bowels. And here we are. They're taking it out on other people. The rub of it is hurt people hurt people. And another Pinterest quote is, sometimes people who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways. So while part of me really wanted to come on here and make my first rant video, because I've had those moments recently where I've had my rants, where I have been dysregulated and I've had my personal bathroom breaks. But that's not what this is. I didn't want to come on here and be dysregulated. I wanted to come on here and share my regulated feelings about feelings. So some of these people who haven't worked on giving themselves regular emotional bathroom breaks, I really wish I would have worked on finding a better metaphor for us. So sorry. A lot of the people who deny the importance of emotions experience their emotions largely and loudly around everyone without understanding how hugely another person's emotions can affect someone else. When someone else is dysregulated, it can be a lot harder to stay regulated yourself, especially if it's someone you care about and they are dysregulated in your direction. There are people who will say mean, hurtful things and will be angry and hostile and indignant, although indignation's actually my favorite. I love saying, how dare you? I'm usually kidding. I know we all have experienced these people, and we've been these people probably, who would say and do things seemingly with no regard to how their words and actions can affect someone else. And I call those people emotionally irresponsible, not taking responsibility for how their emotions can affect another person's emotions. And while again, it's really tempting to make a rant video about all these people who've done me wrong and all these hurt people who have hurt this person. And, again, I may have those conversations with myself as I'm processing my experiences. That doesn't ultimately serve anyone else. My chiropractor, who I super, super love, has a sign in one of her rooms that says, "It never gets easier, you just get better." It's everything. It's everything. Think about writing, handwriting. Writing the letters, how they're supposed to look. The action doesn't get easier, you get better at it. The action's just as hard as it's always been. You're just really good at it now. Or maybe you're not. I'm okay. Who cares? So, in an effort to better myself, because I can't change anybody else, right? None of us can. I can change me. And I can make things feel easier by being better myself. One of those things, I'm not even sure if I've shared this quote on my channel yet, but it is one of my favorites from Pinterest. I find everything on Pinterest, okay? I think it was specifically directed towards kids, but I think it applies to everyone. Don't think of a person as behaving badly. Think of them as struggling to deal with a difficult situation. I want to be given the benefit of the doubt all the time. So I often try to consider why a person might be behaving the way they're behaving. I also think that we're all doing our best. It's a little bit Kurt Vonnegut, Breakfast of Champions. We're all broken machines doing what we can to not be broken. And a lot of us, I think, don't understand that we're broken, meaning that we haven't learned that the things that make us angry aren't objectively angering. That's just how we've learned to experience that situation. And it's not necessarily someone else's fault. So in addition to giving someone the benefit of the doubt and not assuming that they're behaving badly, but assuming that they're struggling to deal with a difficult situation, something else I really focus on, and I think I've said this one on my channel too, but it's another quote I read on Pinterest. It's something along the lines of, when you understand that the way a person reacts has more to do with that person than it does about yourself, eventually you cease to react at all. When someone else is dysregulated in my direction and they are coming at me with anger and frustration and hostility, and they tell me not to be emotional, not to have an emotional reaction to that, I realize that they are struggling to deal with a difficult situation. This happens a lot in workplaces where someone will be really mean and expect you to not have an emotional reaction. And there's a difference between having an emotional reaction and getting dysregulated. So, I will have emotional reactions where I will be hurt by something, but I can still stay regulated. I hold my boundaries. I stand up for myself, and I put that oxygen mask on myself. I keep myself regulated at all costs. Not all costs. I don't know. I mean, I'm not perfect. I get dysregulated for sure, but I do everything that I can to try and stay regulated. And this is the most frustrating part. This is tough. It's only when both people are vulnerable that connection can happen. So when you are in a hostile relationship and both of you have your defenses up, even if you're not dysregulated, if you are not vulnerable, you're not going to further connect. And I've known a lot of people who feel like they're being vulnerable and are actually showing a lot of their protections, meaning they're feeling hurt and sad and they are showing angry. So I'm seeing somebody angry at me. And even though, again, sometimes people who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways, my job there is to make sure I know what I'm comfortable with, protect myself, know where my boundaries are. And that doesn't mean I need to be hostile back. In fact, I need to stay regulated. So if I need to remove myself from the situation or ask for space, those are fair. I feel like recently I've been seeing a lot of us, and I've been tempted to do it myself, and I'm sure I have. I've seen a lot of us fighting back. Like hurt people, and I've seen a lot of hurt people, and I've seen a lot of hurt people hurting people. I just wanted to share with you some of the ways that I have learned to handle that. I gotta tell you, that once you realize that, a way a person's reacting says more about them than it does about you. When I first heard that quote, it must have been, 4 or 5 years ago. And at first, I didn't even get the quote. I didn't even get it. I didn't even understand what it was saying. And I feel like every time I think about that quote and every time I have an interaction where I am hearing a critique of myself from someone else's behavior, I feel like I get closer to understanding that. And it's really freeing. It's really freeing. And I wish the same for you, because we all have to take care of ourselves. And for some of us, that means showing our protections. And sometimes that means hurting other people. Because we do it enough accidentally. We do a lot of hurting people accidentally. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like this video and please subscribe. Bye. Breastfeeding weight loss is a lie.